In our government segment, I'll be interviewing Rich Patierne. Mr. Patierne is a candidate for City Council in the City of Schenectady. So let's watch and see what he has to say. Hi everyone and welcome to Impact. I'm Nick Barber, your host for the government segment. And today my guest is Rich Patierne. Rich is a candidate for Schenectady City Council. So we'll be talking to Rich about his background and what his plans are. Hi, Rich.
Good morning, Nick.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Great. It's great to have you. We're not strangers. I've known you over the years and
Yes.
knew your family. And you're running for City Council for the City of Schenectady.
I am.
Just to keep it understandable for the audience,
Sure.
There's been several City Council candidates out there, and things have happened. How many seats are open for the City Council in November?
There's just one seat.
One seat.
Yes.
And why is that seat available?
That's the departure of Mayor Gary McCarthy, winning the election last year and departing his council seat.
Okay, so the mayor's successful election created a vacancy on the City Council.
Correct.
Are you and your opponent running for an unexpired term, or is it a full term?
No, this is an unexpired. It's a one-year term.
1 year.
It goes just for the year of 2013, and then next November, whoever the successful candidate is will have to run again.
Okay, so you have to run 2 years in a row.
Correct.
The victor.
Correct.
Yeah, we've had the other City Council candidates on this show, and we're happy to have you here.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, this is your chance to let the public know a little bit what you're about. You know, we were talking before the show, and you've had some community service and public service. What kind of things did you do that got you involved in your community, and what motivated you to run for public office?
Well, I've been a volunteer for the youth of the City of Schenectady since I was 16 years old. I started coaching at Northside Little League, and I spent 26 wonderful years there. My last year as my son graduated from there and moved on to Schenectady Babe Ruth, which I followed him. So I have 30 years of commitment to the youth of this city.
Great.
And being that volunteer and helping kids out I think is such a pivotal part of making sure that our youth grow up to be what they should be.
And we lead by example.
Exactly.
Don't we? Yeah.
Exactly.
Sure, my kids went through Northside Little
Yes.
League. I did a little assistant coaching there.
Yes, you
and
did.
Bellevue
Yes, you
too,
did.
and,
Yes.
and I played Little League, and I'm sure you did.
I did.
Schenectady Little League over on Michigan Avenue.
Yeah. Yeah.
And made some great friends and great influences, the coaches.
Absolutely.
Mike Maeta.
Yeah, boy,
Lindy
I tell you.
Bonhomme, and I mean, just some real icons of Little League, world champion caliber.
Some
So
great
I'm sure
names
that your
right there.
coaches influenced you.
They have, yes.
And then when you teach others, young people, someday they'll grow up to get involved, and they'll influence the next generation.
Hopefully
So
that's the
it's
cycle
great.
that it will take, yes.
So youth is important.
Absolutely.
Now, on the City Council, I mean, there's a lot of problems in the city, let's face it.
Sure.
Okay? Every city has problems. The economy has spurred problems, and budgets and union contracts and retirement. And there's no magic bullets, but there has to be a plan to try to make things better. What are your main concerns and focuses about city government and what needs to be done?
Well, Nick, I think your wording of having a plan is very key. We have to have a long-term plan, because this problem that we have in front of us right now, there's no short-term fix to it. And my main thing on the City Council will be focusing on finances right off the rip. We really need to look at things under a microscope. We have to, because if we don't, we're just going to get deeper and deeper in debt, and before you know it, we're going to end up getting taken over by the state of New York.
That's happened to municipalities.
It has.
We don't want to see that here.
We do not.
We don't want to see our bond rating degraded either.
Correct.
That's true. What types of things can we do? I know, every time a budget comes up, and whether it's a council, there's a city council, or another local municipality, they say, well, we've got to sit down, and we've got to go bare bones, and we've got to cut. And, I mean, it comes to a point where elected officials say, well, we can't cut anywhere else.
Yeah.
We can't.
Yeah.
But are there innovative things that you can do through volunteerism, or what kind of other things could be done to lower the cost of government?
I think one of the key things is a volunteerism thing. And I'll just give you for example. Last year, and I'll go back to my involvement with sports and the youth. My son.
We should say, I don't want to interrupt you, but you also work for Union College now,
I do.
don't you?
I do.
So
yes.
You've been there for a while.
25-year employee. Just got inducted into the Quarter Century Club in January.
Congratulations.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Good. Yeah.
Yes. Love my job there. It's really a great opportunity to see young adults graduate, and year after year, 25 consistent years
Yes.
of seeing that, and that's very rewarding.
It's a great place, and it's another
is.
gem of the community, so we've got to give Union College a plug here.
Yes.
It's a great institution here
Absolutely.
in Schenectady. So you were saying, we were talking about budget and volunteerism, and
And that has to be worked out through the unions and everything, because I know there's agreements with the unions, but Central Park had some issues with their baseball fields last year, and we put together a group of concerned parents that were willing to help out and volunteer, and we couldn't do that because of the agreements with the unions. So I would push for that, and I think that's something that we can really negotiate. That's an easy negotiation, and maybe help them along a little bit more that way.
yeah.
Yeah.
What other types of things can we do for savings? I can see that the chiefs. Let's talk about, if you want to, the appointment of the chief of police. We've read in the paper recently that, of course, Chief Chairs is retired.
Yes.
Now we have to come up with a new chief or consolidate under a commissioner form or whatever. So the city is considering what to do. But there were assistant chiefs, and one might be downgraded. So what can you tell us about what's going on there?
Well,
and would it be a cost savings opportunity?
It would be a cost savings opportunity. I am in favor of having a police chief, and along with having a police chief, I believe that police chief should live in the city of Schenectady, and that could be done a couple ways. Obviously, an assistant chief could be promoted and then move into the city. If that's not going to happen, then a search for the best candidate that we can get. And one of those things that he would have to know ahead of time is that he needs to move into the city of Schenectady once hired.
I know the mayor is pretty steadfast on hiring people that live in the city.
And I agree with the mayor on that.
That's a thing with him, and that's not a bad thing.
No, it is not. Because I think if you live here, you care more about your city, and you want things to be better.
And speaking of living here, you've lived in the north side of the city for how many years?
46 years,
All your life?
lifelong.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
My wife Lisa and our two children, Alyssa and Nicholas, both have went through the Schenectady school system, and Alyssa is now at Maria College in Albany studying nursing.
Oh, great. Oh, good.
And my son Nick is a senior at Schenectady High School.
I like that name, Nick.
Yes.
So wave to them, Lisa,
Hi.
Alyssa, and
Lisa, my wife, Alyssa, my daughter, and Nicholas, my son.
Nicholas. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so as far as neighborhoods are concerned, I mean, neighborhoods, the Metroplex has done a lot in the city through the designation of a percentage of the sales tax, 0.5% of the sales tax,
Yes.
county sales tax for shovel-ready sites and economic development and businesses and bricks and mortar within that Metroplex corridor.
Yes.
But the neighborhoods, everybody's talking about the neighborhoods. Now, what about the quality of life in the neighborhoods? I mean, we've seen neighborhoods change for various reasons, economic influx of people from out of the area.
True.
What do you think can be done to improve the quality of life in the neighborhood? What can we do differently?
Well, I'm gonna steal a little of Vince Riggi's thunder a little bit with that, because I agree 100% with what Vince is trying to do, and I think he's doing a tremendous job as our city council person. And he talks about those quality of life issues. He talks about the little nuisance things that are going on that, like things that get tagged and get taken care of. And I refer back to Rudy Giuliani's broken window theory. And I think if we jump on these quality of life issues, these nuisance things, get them taken care of, people are going to respect the neighborhood more. So
it's life's little aggravations, huh?
yes, absolutely.
The broken glass, the car break-ins,
Yes.
The noise.
Yes.
There's a lot of issues with noise,
Absolutely.
trash,
And you know,
unlicensed dogs. I mean, just little daily irritating things that bother people in the neighborhood. And safety, of course, is number one. They want to feel safe in their neighborhood and in their home.
and that's what the next thing I was going to get at. I want to make sure that our police department, our fire department has the proper tools to do their job, because I'm a very strong advocate of public safety. And I'd just like to touch on, just very briefly, the Safe Schenectady Safer initiative that Assemblyman Tedisco and Senator Farley have put forth. And I think we need to dive into that a little more, and make sure that people know about a tip line that they could call if they see crime happening, or somebody violating the noise ordinance or something like that. So yes.
Well, that's good.
Yes.
That's a program that's state generated and it affects localities. How does it work?
I don't think it's ever taken off. So I would like to try and
still
help.
Proposed?
Yes, correct. And I think it went through the partisan politics thing.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing that needs to happen. Partisan politics has to go by the wayside. In my mind, you're a Republican, a Democrat, or whatever you're registered as, one day a year, and that's Election Day.
Yes.
After that, we need to work for the city, the residents of the city of Schenectady.
I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, there's still political agendas, but they shouldn't be to the detriment of the public.
That's correct. That is correct.
I always looked at it as a tennis match. There's two contestants, and they have a match, and one wins, and they shake hands, and that's it. And then it's over. And that's the politics is over. And but we know in the real world that's not going to happen, but it really should be limited, the political agendas, when it may affect the economy or the safety of the community.
And you can use yourself as an example for that, Nick, because when you were a public servant, you still are a public servant in a different way.
In a way.
But when you were an elected official, you were very good at putting partisan politics aside when it would affect, the people that you were representing.
That's nice of you to say, and I always felt that way, so thank you. Great minds think alike, I guess, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. You also ran for another office. You ran for the county legislature.
I did.
Was that your first bid for public office?
That was my first bid for public office.
Sometimes that's what it takes, Rich, right?
Yes.
I mean, you don't always win the first time out.
Gave it a shot. I ran against two very, good opponents in Mike Petta and Bob Hoffman, and my running mate was Peter Gittarelli. And we gave it a good shot. Peter came very close, and I was several hundred votes off of that mark. But I learned a lot, and I really enjoyed my time meeting people and hearing the issues.
So, Rich, we've been talking about neighborhood and economic and budgetary issues. If someone wants to get a hold of you as a candidate for city council, how would they reach you?
I think the best way to reach me is through my email account, which is rpaterni, that's RPATIERNE @gmail.com.
Okay, rpaterni@gmail.com.
Yes.
We've been visiting with Rich Patierne, candidate for Schenectady City Council. Thanks, Rich, for coming.
Thank you.
We appreciate you being here. Great to see you, and good luck with your race.
Thank you so much.
I'm Nick Barber, your host. You've been watching Impact. We'll see you next time.
Proctors, bringing the best in arts, education, and entertainment.